Have you ever hit a point in your life where you felt completely stuck, like you had no motivation, no plan, and no idea how to change your circumstances? I know that feeling all too well. Just 2 years ago, I was at rock bottom. My bank account was empty, my mind was cluttered with negativity, and my daily routine revolved around procrastination and endless distractions. Fast forward to today, and my life has transformed in ways I couldn't have imagined. I'm now earning over $10,000 a month, and I've embraced a lifestyle that aligns with my values. How did I do it? I'm going to share the exact process with you. These are not just abstract ideas. They are actionable, practical, and proven strategies that changed my life. If you're ready to take control of your destiny, stick with me, because this could be the moment that sparks your transformation. Hey there, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I'm passionate about helping people unlock their potential and create the life they've always dreamed of. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Today, I'm going to break down the 4 key principles that helped me turn my life around: discipline, contentment, detachment, and balance. Each of these principles is like a puzzle piece, and when you put them together, they create a clear picture of how to achieve success, happiness, and fulfillment. This isn't just about getting motivated for a week or two. This is about creating lasting change in your mindset and your habits. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's dive in. 1. Discipline. Building the foundation of success. Discipline is the cornerstone of any meaningful achievement. Without discipline, even the most well-thought-out plans are doomed to fail. But it's important to recognize that discipline isn't about perfection or working yourself to exhaustion. It's about consistency and creating systems that set you up for success. When I first embarked on my journey, I struggled with discipline constantly. I was great at coming up with big, ambitious goals, but I lacked the follow-through. I'd start a new project full of excitement, only to abandon it days later when the initial motivation wore off. That's when I realized discipline isn't fueled by willpower, it's fueled by structure. When you design your environment and habits to work for you, discipline becomes a natural byproduct. Here's how I started. Micro-commitments. One of the biggest mistakes I made early on was trying to change everything at once. I'd attempt to overhaul my entire routine overnight, only to burn out and give up. Instead, I started focusing on micro-commitments, small and achievable goals that I could realistically stick to. For example, instead of committing to writing for 3 hours a day, I started with just 10 minutes. Those 10 minutes didn't feel overwhelming, so I could show up consistently. Over time, that 10 minutes grew into 30 minutes, then an hour, and eventually multiple hours of focused work each day. The beauty of micro-commitments is that they build momentum. Each small win gives you the confidence to take on bigger challenges. It's like compounding interest, but for self-discipline. Accountability systems. Another game changer for me was creating systems to hold myself accountable. It's easy to let yourself off the hook when no one is watching, so I introduced external checks to keep me on track. I used a simple habit tracker to monitor my progress daily. Seeing a streak of consistent effort motivated me to keep going. Accountability partners. I shared my goals with a close friend and asked them to check in on my progress. Knowing someone else was invested in my success made me less likely to slack off. Accountability creates a sense of responsibility. It turns discipline into a shared effort rather than a solo struggle. Non-negotiables. Lastly, I implemented the concept of non-negotiables. These are habits or actions that you commit to doing no matter what, like brushing your teeth every day. For me, one non-negotiable was working on my goals every morning before checking my phone or social media. This single rule eliminated distractions and ensured that I prioritized my most important tasks first. By turning key habits into non-negotiables, I removed the option to skip them. They became automatic, like breathing. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself to do things you hate. It's about creating a lifestyle where the habits that support your goals are natural and automatic. When you build discipline through structure, consistency, and accountability, success becomes inevitable. 2. Contentment. Finding joy in the present. We live in a society that glorifies achievement, so it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, I'll be happy when I have more money, when I reach my dream job, when I've hit 1 million followers. But here's the hard truth. If you can't find happiness now, you won't find it then either. For a long time, I lived in this cycle of delayed happiness. No matter what I achieved, it was never enough. I always set my sights on the next goal. Then I discovered something life-changing. Contentment isn't tied to your circumstances. It's a mindset. Practicing gratitude. The simplest way to cultivate contentment is through gratitude. Every morning, I started writing down 3 things I was grateful for. At first, this felt awkward. My life was far from perfect. What was there to be grateful for? But I forced myself to dig deep. Some days, it was as simple as being grateful for a good cup of coffee or a kind word from a stranger. Over time, this practice rewired my brain to focus on abundance instead of lack. Gratitude helped me see the beauty in my everyday life, even when it wasn't perfect. Shifting focus to the journey. I'd also learned to shift my focus from the destination to the journey. Instead of obsessing over where I wanted to be, I started appreciating the process of growth. Every small step forward became a victory, and every challenge became an opportunity to learn. Contentment doesn't mean settling for less. It means finding joy in the present moment while still striving for more. It's about realizing that happiness isn't a destination. It's a state of being. 3. Detachment. Letting go of the outcome. If you've ever found yourself obsessing over results, whether it's likes on a post, numbers in your bank account, or the outcome of a project, you know how draining it can be. I used to live in that headspace, and it was exhausting. Then I learned the art of detachment. Focusing on the process. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop letting results dictate your self-worth. Instead of fixating on outcomes, I started focusing on the process. For example, instead of stressing over how many views my videos got, I focused on creating the best content I could. This shift not only reduced my anxiety, but also made my work more enjoyable. I fell in love with the process, and as a result, the results came naturally. Trusting the universe. Another key aspect of detachment is trusting the universe, or whatever higher power you believe in. I began to embrace the idea that everything happens in divine timing. This mindset allowed me to let go of control and trust that my efforts would bear fruit when the time was right. 4. Balance. Sustaining your momentum. In a culture that glorifies the grind, balance often feels like a luxury. But it's actually essential. Without balance, you risk burnout, which can derail even the most disciplined efforts. Prioritizing self-care. Self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. I started making time for activities that rejuvenated me, like meditation, journaling, and spending time outdoors. These practices didn't just help me recharge, they also improved my focus and creativity. Setting boundaries. I'd also learned the importance of saying no. Whether it was turning down unnecessary meetings or setting limits on social media, protecting my time and energy became a priority. Boundaries allowed me to focus on what truly mattered. Celebrating small wins. Finally, I began celebrating progress, no matter how small. Each step forward, no matter how tiny, was a reminder of how far I'd come. This practice kept me motivated and made the journey more enjoyable. Balance isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about creating a rhythm that supports both your well-being and your goals. This week, schedule one activity that recharges you, whether it's a walk in nature, a yoga session, or simply an evening off from work to relax. Also, set one boundary to protect your time and energy, such as turning off notifications during your most productive hours. Balance starts with small, intentional choices. Success isn't just about reaching your goals. It's about enjoying the journey, staying aligned with your purpose, and creating a life you love. Start with these 4 principles: discipline, contentment, detachment, and balance. Which one resonates with you most? Begin implementing it today and watch how it transforms your mindset and results. Let me know in the comments what step you'll take first. I'd love to hear your journey.